I'm Matt with etrailer, and today we're talking about the Titan chains, tire chains with twist links and cams on our 2023 Ford F-150. And our tire size is going to be 245 70 R17, and it's going to be on the rear axle as what the manual recommends. Now, this is actually going to be able to fit a range of different tire sizes. This tire is just the one we have today. But if you are worried about this fitting on your tires, you can plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find what's going to be the best fit for you. So let's check them out. These are going to be a great set of chains for you if you're going through more moderate snow areas, maybe some light ice areas too, and something that's going to be pretty easy to tighten down. So why it's going to be able to get you through that snow is because the shape of our links. With these being twist links, they're going to have a little bit more bite to them. Maybe not as much as some of our square link tire chains, which are going to be more ideal for ice. But this should still get you through a lot of different scenarios. They're also going to be made from a low carbon steel, which is going to be a softer metal, but it is going to be able to get the job done. We're also going to have this ladder pattern. That ladder pattern is going to be great for giving you more traction when you're driving forward or stopping. And in the center, you'll notice we have these cams. These cams are going to be great for getting a little bit more tension out of your chains, especially since when you are driving, these can loosen up. For that, though, I recommend investing in a rubber tensioner. So what a rubber tensioner is going to do while you're driving is when everything's settling in, it's going to help keep tension as you drive. These chains are going to come in a set of 2 in this very light-duty bag. Now, what I recommend is investing in a small tote to keep your chains in, because what's going to happen is, since this is a light-duty bag and these chains are moderately aggressive, after maybe 5 or 6 uses, and if they are still slightly wet, that's really going to start to degrade this bag and they're going to tear right through. That's why a tote is going to be a really nice investment, because it's going to be able to withstand that. Overall, this is going to be a great chain for you if you are trying to get through those more moderate snow and ice conditions and you want something that's going to be easy to tighten down, especially since we do have this included tool to tighten down those cams. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more bulky, because these are some larger chains and you want to get through some more extreme conditions, I'd recommend any chains that have square links to them. They're going to be pretty aggressive, not too aggressive as some of our more V-bar styles, which are more recommended for off-roading. So if you are driving on roads in extreme conditions, I'd recommend a square link. But if you are driving in those moderate conditions, this do you just fine. If you're curious about how we got them on here, just stay tuned and we'll walk you through the process. To start off the installation, I recommend grabbing some gloves, make this a lot easier. And if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend trying to get these on while you're at home, because you don't want to have to figure this out on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard. But the things we want to check is if there's any damages to our links, making sure no of these links are broken, not together, and we want to make sure this is in the right orientation, making sure that hook is facing up. We also want to make sure these cams are closest towards me and facing in, because if they're not, this is probably all twisted up or it's already tightened down. We want to make sure these are loosened up and not tight. With that fixed up, we want to grab our chains from the center, lift up on them, drape them over your tire. I partially put mine on first, so I'm not dragging them across that rim. And I'm just kind of fixing everything up, making sure everything's not hanging too low, and that I'm getting a good fit on here. And at the bottom, I like to make sure these links are going to be easy to grab so we can make our connections in the front and the back. Speaking about those connections in the back, that's where we're going to make our first connection. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to put this metal hook through one of these metal links. And this might take a few attempts, and that's because we don't want this to be too tight on either side, because if it's too tight on either side, that's not going to give it a good even fit. So make sure when you are tightening these down, it's even. The front connection is going to be a little bit different. So, same idea, going to one of these links and grabbing onto it, only instead of grabbing the link, we're going to go through the link. This might take a few attempts because we want to get this pretty tight. Once it's through all the way, we're going to just push it back. You're going to have this plate that it's going to grab onto. It might be kind of hard to see with my hands in the way. As you can see, that's how we want that connection to be. I'm going to go back through and check how loose my chains are. It's still a little loose, so I'm going to have to tighten this down a bit more. To tighten this down further, we're going to tighten up that cam with this included tool. When you go to tighten it, you know you go in the right direction. If you see that chain traveling that channel, you know you go in the wrong direction if it looks like this. With that tightened down, I'm just going to pull on this a little bit more. There's still a little bit of slack, so I think I can get this just a bit tighter. Turn on this, and this is probably going to be pretty good here. Even though this is pretty tight, I still recommend using that rubber tensioner because while we drive, these chains are going to settle a little bit, and once they settle some, they're going to loosen up. And to prevent that from loosening up too much for when you're driving, this rubber tensioner is going to keep tension the entire time. I just recommend putting it on in the star pattern, and when you put these hooks on, make sure they're furthest away from your tire so they don't puncture anything. Once you got this on, you repeat that process on the other side. After that, I recommend either pulling forward or backing up some, just to make sure everything's looking pretty snug still. And if it is, you can take it for a ride. But that's just a look at the installation and some of the features of the Titan chains with twist links and cams on our 2023 Ford F-150. Thanks for watching.